lit. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party.
What is up, everyone? What is going on, faithful? It is your boy Niner Sickness with another Niner Sickness podcast coming to you live, all the way live from the Bay Area, representing my San Francisco 49ers, Oakland Athletics, Bay Area Panthers, and the Los Angeles Lakers. Welcome to my podcast. It's Wednesday. Happy hump day. I hope your day is going well. I hope you're enjoying your middle of the week. We're going to talk about 49ers D-line. The most important part other than a non-quarterback. What's a very important part of the 49ers? It is the trenches, right? Building everything from the trenches on. Defensive line, offensive line. Today we're going to talk about the D-line. And in my next episode, I will talk about the offensive line. Before we get started, please, everyone, make sure to wipe your feet before entering and smash that like button for your boy Niner Sickness. I would appreciate that very, very much. We are live, all the way live here on the Niner Sickness podcast. Thank you guys for joining in. Those that are joining in, I appreciate it very, very much. Let's welcome our viewers tonight. Ooh, that is way too small. Hold on, guys. That is way too small. Let's welcome our viewers. Oops. Hold on, guys. There we go. Make that a little bit bigger. Put it right there. All right. Let's welcome Brian to the chat. We got our boy Ramilia Sports Report representing his LA Lambs. You are no longer the champs. I am sorry. The Kansas City Chiefs are the champs. So no more champs for the Lambs. It is now about the Kansas City Chiefs. What's up, Bebop Jones? Welcome to the channel, my friend. Rafael 5629ers, welcome to the channel. We got John in the house. What's up, John? Welcome. Thank you for wiping your feet. Appreciate that, my friend. We got Daniel Barry Sports in the house. What's up, brother? Welcome. We got Luis Moreno in the house. What's up, brother? It's been a minute. Hope you're doing good. I am doing well. Thank you for stopping in. And you're right. It has been a minute. I'm glad you're doing well yourself. We got Willie Rodriguez in the house. What's up, Willie? He says, what's up, Beto? Hi from Union City, New Jersey. Love you all. Your show, Vato Loco. So, we're going to discuss the 49ers D-line. 2019 was the last season that we had a dominant 49er D-line. We were dominant. We were forceful. We were causing chaos to opposing quarterbacks. We were making quarterbacks run for their lives. And that line consists of Dee Ford, Eric Armstead, DeForest Buckner, and rookie at that time, rookie Nick Bosa. Now, that D-line was tremendous. It was great. Can the 2023 D-line be just as good or even better than the 2019? Well, let's find out. Let's find out. Stats don't lie, right? Stats don't lie. So let's find out how the 2023 can compare to the 2019 D-line. What's up, Eric? Willis, how you doing? Wallace, how you doing, sir? Welcome to the stream. We got our faithful Seattle Seahawks fan. Very loving, very respectful gentleman. Always a pleasure of having him on. So, 2019, when we had Dee Ford healthy, we had DeForest Buckner creating chaos in the middle, the rookie Nick Bosa doing his thing on the outside. It elevated Eric Armstead. Eric Armstead wasn't double covered. He was single covered. Why? Because offensive linemen were more concerned about DeForest Buckner and the rookie Nick Bosa. They left Eric Armstead on one-on-ones, which Eric Armstead took complete advantage of. And then they have to worry about Dee Ford. So when Eric Armstead wasn't the focal point, he was able to do his damage. If I'm not mistaken, that year in 2019, he had 10 sacks. He hasn't really lived up to that year since. Now, I'm referring to just sacks and sacks alone. Eric Armstead, in my opinion, is very underrated. Okay? If you're going to just look at him as a sack machine, you will be disappointed. You will be disappointed in Eric Armstead. But if you look at Eric Armstead as a totality, as someone, what he brings to the table in bringing pressure and moving that offensive line, disrupting what the quarterback is trying to do, Eric Armstead is very, very instrumental to the D-line last year. Now, he didn't have no sacks, but he was a force to be reckoned with. He made life much easier for Nick Bosa and whoever was next to Nick Bosa, whether it was Kinlaw, whether it was, I can't think of his name right now. We signed him back this year. Kevin Givens. But because all we really had was Bosa and nobody else, the next best lineman next to Bosa was Eric Armstead. So they were double teaming Eric Armstead. And Eric Armstead, when he's double teamed, he's not that good in getting after the quarterback. But we're not going to run into that problem going forward. One of the areas that we lacked in was a replacement for DeForest Buckner. As you know, the 49ers traded DeForest Buckner in 2019 to the Colts for their number one pick. The Niners took a flyer on a D tackle by the name of Javon Kinlaw. Now, a lot of people have different opinions on Javon Kinlaw. He's a bust, this or that. I still believe in Kinlaw. I still believe in what he's capable of doing. But unfortunately, whether I believe in Kinlaw or not, his injuries has limited him in what the Niners wanted him to do. So therefore, because of his limitations and his injuries, he has not able to be productive and a force in that D-line. So they had to move on from him, and then they had to focus on Eric Armstead. So that was a drop-off from DeForest Buckner to Kinlaw. I'm not going to get into debate whether we should have kept DeForest Buckner and got rid of Eric Armstead. That is not the discussion that I'm going to have today. What I wanted to bring to the table today on my show was the understanding that we were lacking a force in the middle. So the Niners address this offseason. Even though the 49ers had the number one defense in the NFL at the end of the 2022 season, they still added a big piece. Some may say the biggest piece in free agency. So, before I mention, you guys know who I'm talking about already, but before I mention his name, let's talk about the players that left. The players that we lost. We lost Samson Ekukom. I can't pronounce his last name for the life of me. Samson. He registered 5 sacks. We lost Charles Omenihu. He registered 4.5 sacks. Okay? 4.5 sacks. We lost Kerry Hyder. He registered 1 sack. We lost Jordan Willis. He registered 2 sacks. And we lost Hassan Ridgeway, who registered 1 sack in the 2022 season. A total of 13.5 sacks. So all 5 players, Samson, Charles, Kerry, Jordan, and Hassan, combined, 5 players combined, registered 13.5 sacks. Those are 5 players. We brought in 1 player by the name of Javon Hargrave. Him alone with Philadelphia recorded 11 sacks. Let that sink in for a moment. We lost 5 players to free agency. Samson, Charles, Kerry, Jordan, and Hassan. All 5 of them combined registered for 13.5 sacks. Javon Hargrave registered by himself 11. Only a difference of 2.5 sacks less. So 1 player is covering the production of 5. I know a lot of players didn't like us losing Omenihu or losing Samson, but understand they had a combined between Charles and Samson, a combine of 9.5. Just them 2. Hargrave had 11 by himself. And then you add Kerry with 1, Jordan with 2, and Hassan with 1. That is 3. 3 more sacks. But Drake Jackson, our rookie last year, who did not play a lot of games, registered 3 sacks by himself. So Drake Jackson was able to produce the same amount of sacks in limited games than Hyder, Jordan, and Hassan did all combined. Welcome to the chat, Mr. 49er Minded. How you doing, sir? Welcome. We got Cemetery 7 in the house. What's up, my brother from another mother? How you doing? Willie says, I think we added another safety ball hawk like Minka Fitzpatrick and the edge like D Ford in the draft. Oh, if we add. We'll get to that in a minute, Willie. We'll get to that in a minute. So we lose 5 players in free agency, combined of 13.5 sacks, and we added 1 player who had 11 by himself. We had already had the number 1 defense, and the Niners understood. Even though we had the number 1 defense, where was our weakest spot in 2022? It was definitely the spot of D tackle next to Bosa. Unfortunately, because of the injury to Kinlaw, he has not been able to take advantage of his opportunities. So the Niners decided, okay, we need strength in that spot. Even though we had the number 1 defense, they still spent $84 million with $40 million guaranteed to bring in not a good player, but the number 1 free agent on the market at that position. So now we have Eric Armstead, Javon Hargrave, Nick Bosa. Now in 2019, Nick Bosa had 9 sacks as a rookie. In 2022, as the defensive player of the year, he had 18 and a half. Double that production of 2019. And keep this in mind. Bosa had 18 and a half sacks without the help of Javon Kinlaw. Without the help of the other side of defensive end. And Eric Armstead did not register a sack in 2022. And yet, Nick Bosa was able to register 18 and a half sacks. Imagine with me, if you will. Now you add a force in the middle of Javon Hargrave, who is also able to put pressure on opposing offensive linemen. So now offensive coordinators have to game plan not only for Nick Bosa, the defensive player of the year, but they also have to sit there and game plan for a all-pro, Pro Bowler, D-tackle, and Hargrave, which means they're going to leave Armstead on one-on-ones. What does that mean? Well, in 2019, when the opposing offensive coordinators were concentrating in game planning for DeForest Buckner and Nick Bosa, Eric Armstead was able to take advantage of those one-on-ones and racked up 10 sacks that year. You're right. And Armstead missed most of the year in 2022 due to injury. So now you have Hargrave and Bosa dominating on the outside and dominating in the inside. That will leave Eric Armstead on one-on-ones. And Eric Armstead on one-on-ones is going to kill you. I expect a great year for Eric Armstead because we added a specimen like Hargrave to complement Bosa. I expect the value and the work to be fully explored by Eric Armstead in 2023. Now, let's talk a little bit about Drake Jackson. Rookie last year, taken in the second round out of USC. He did not end the season the way we wanted him because he kind of ran out of steam. People gotta remember when you come out of college, you gotta do a lot of things to impress scouts. You gotta have your what do they call it? The pro days. You gotta do your private workouts. You gotta focus on the draft. So many things happening that it was a long off season for Drake Jackson. Now Drake Jackson has an opportunity to worry about nothing else but getting better and having a complete full off season. He's been hitting the weights and he registered 3 sacks. Maybe that wasn't a lot, but that was 3 sacks though. Can Drake Jackson get 6 or 7 sacks playing a complete 17 games? I think so. Again, because we brought in a monster in Hargrave and then adding him next to Bosa, they will pretty much always demand double teams. That's going to leave the door open for Armstead and Drake Jackson. Can they win their one-on-ones? Now, we know that Eric Armstead will win his share of one-on-ones. Can Drake Jackson step up and win his share of one-on-ones? And that is yet to be seen. That's what I want to see, and that's what I'm looking forward this year. Can Drake Jackson make that leap jump from his freshman year to his sophomore year? And how big of a jump can he make? Yes, I completely agree. 100%. And then we brought in, listen, I know he hasn't been productive coming off college. He was great at Clemson. But Farrell did not really work out for the Raiders. Now, if you remember a kid by the name of or Arden Key, not Alden, but Arden Key. He wasn't drafted as high as Farrell for the Raiders, but he came to the Niners under Chris Kocurek and elevated his game so much that he was able to go and get paid by the Jaguars the year before. And now, I believe he got paid again by the Tennessee Titans. This is what Chris Kocurek does to your career. Can the 4th overall pick in the draft, Farrell, take advantage of the teachings of one Chris Kocurek? Can he step up in rotation of Drake Jackson? Then they brought in this kid, Austin Bryant. Now, I don't expect a lot of upside from Austin Bryant. I expect him to be a rotational D lineman, someone that comes in and just, as a rotation, the way that Kerry Hyder or Jordan Willis was. I think he can fill those shoes very well. And then we brought back Kevin Givens. We re-signed him to another year. He'll be able to back up Eric Armstead or Hargrave. And remember, guys, Javon Kinlaw as a starter wasn't great. Javon Kinlaw as a starter was not great. We know this because of the limitations of his injury. But now the 49ers do not need to depend on Kinlaw for 17 games. He doesn't have to be a 3-down D tackle any longer. We brought his replacement in Hargrave. All we need from Kinlaw is to be that rotational D tackle and give fresh legs on 3rd down if we need to take Hargrave out for a breather. And I think that Kinlaw, on a limited count of snaps, could be productive in this defense. If we have Drake Jackson stepping up, as I think he will, Armstead production is going to go up based on the coverage of Hargrave and Bosa. Hargrave is going to do his damage, and we already know that Nick Bosa is a beast. And if he had 18 and a half sacks last year with literally no help, now that we brought in Hargrave and Armstead's production is going to be elevated by that, and if we get great production from freshman to sophomore in Jackson, imagine how much better Bosa is going to be. And I don't think Bosa by any means is the type of player that once he gets paid, he's going to be satisfied. Like he's going to be like, all right, I got my money, whatever. I just see the eye of the tiger in Bosa. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. I think that even though Bosa's going to get paid and get paid very well in the next couple of months, I think his production does not drop off. I think his production continues to be steady, if not better. So I'm excited to see. The D linemen of Bosa, Hargrave, Armstead, and Dre Jackson. Imagine that freaking D lineman. And we already have arguably the best two linebacker, middle linebacker and outside linebacker in Fred Warner and Greenlaw. Now, we lost Aziz, but we really did not play with three linebacker sets. Aziz was more of a rotational, kind of giving Greenlaw or Fred Warner a breather. We have Burks, we have Fagigan, and then we have the kid that we signed that has been on our practice squad. I can't think of his name. We'll be fine there. And then in the secondary, and I know this is the D-line show, but I just wanted to kind of just talk a little bit about the secondary. We brought back Tashawn Gibson, which I think bringing back Tashawn Gibson was a major accomplishment from the Niners organization. The guy played great. Now we got to draft the future safety and develop him under Tashawn Gibson for the next year. Hufanga, all pro last year. I believe he's going to get better this year. Ward and Lenore did very well on the outside. Now, we lost Jimmy Ward as the slot corner. But the kid Oliver that we brought from Atlanta, he's a big body corner. Putting him in a slot is going to be nice. And then remember, if we're putting pressure on the quarterback from our front four, we can hang 7 back. That means that if the quarterback makes a mistake this little, Fred Warner, Greenlaw, Tashawn Gibson, Hufanga, Ward, or Lenore will make that quarterback pay for his mistake. And what we need to do is constantly put pressure on the quarterback. Now that not only can we bring pressure from the outside, but we can collapse the middle and force the quarterback to go to the outside. And if he goes to the outside, freaking Bosa is going to make you pay for it. And if you decide to step up in the pocket, well, hello, Hargrave. Quarterback, pick your poison. Who will you stop? Yes, thank you, John. Carry a ball. He's a very good candidate to replace Aziz. According to you, he's going to ball out. I would not be mad about that at all. I would love to see that happen. The potential is definitely there. What's up, Sean? Welcome to the chat, my friend. What's up, Sean? And look who it is. My brother from a different mother, Mr. Ramilia Sports Report, representing the ex-champions, LA Lambs. Now, what we do have in common, me and my boy Rudy, is that we both love the Lakers. We both love the Lakers, and we both want to see the Lakers beat the crap out of those fake Clippers tonight. We're going to beat those little Clippers tonight and show them who's boss. Welcome, Rudy, though. Seriously, welcome. ¿Qué pasó? El champ is... No eres el champ no more, my friend. Ex-champ. You got to take your hats off to the Kansas City Chiefs. Those are the champs. And you can't even say the NFC champs because the NFC champs belongs to the Niners. But the Niners went out and got their Aaron Donald. The Niners were lacking an Aaron Donald's type of player. And they went out and got Javon Hargrave from the Philadelphia Eagles to complement Nick Bosa. And then you add Eric Armstead. Whenever, like I said earlier in the show, whenever you have dominance in the middle and on the outside, like they did in 2019, Eric Armstead automatically elevates his players, his playing style. And I really believe that Dre Jackson is going to be that missing piece on the outside. I think we're going to have great production from him. What's up, Itchy95? How you doing, brother? The Eagles are the NFC champs, correct. But we are the NFC West champs. And I was referencing that to my boy Rudy, which his team belongs to the NFC West as well. And if I said NFC, if I didn't mention West in that statement earlier, my apologies. I meant to say NFC West champs, not just NFC. So for that, mil perdones. Hey guys, make sure to slap the lambs in the ass by hitting that like button for your boy Niner sickness. But hey, it's been a long minute. It's been a long time. You're right. But they still have 5 rings compared to 2. So, but it doesn't matter the past. It matters what the team is doing today. The 94 champs doesn't mean anything to me. It's a great history. It's great to talk about the 5 championships and the history of it and the accomplishments. But it's all about today. I can tell you that the Niners are better situated today to win their 6th Lombardi trophy than the Rams are on winning their 3rd Lombardi. Right now, the Niners are better situated to winning and getting that 6th ring than the Rams are on getting their 3rd. Can we agree on that? And now that we have our Aaron Donald in the middle in Hargrave, can you imagine Matthew Stafford, that old man, the guy coming out of back problems? Matthew Stafford has back problems. And he was already getting killed by Bosa and an injured Kinlaw. Now you bring Hargrave into the mix? Now you're going to tell me that he has to avoid Hargrave and Bosa? For the love of God, Mr. Matthew Stafford is going to be having nightmares before and after each Niner game. That is what Matthew Stafford has looking forward to. A shitty offensive line. I mean, let's picture this for a minute. The Lambs have a shitty offensive line. Cannot protect them. Matthew Stafford is coming off a back injury. And the Niners D-line got better? Holy crap. We got better at our D-line by adding Hargrave. Your offensive line has not gotten better. Your quarterback has a bad back. We're going to kill Matthew Stafford. That's going to be fun to watch for sure. It's all good, bro. You can make your fun of my five. We still have 5 Super Bowls, man. It's like if you have kids and you have older kids now, you can't dismiss how many kids you have just because they're older now. You're never going to dismiss the 5 championships, but I'm talking about the next Super Bowl. I'm not worried about the past. I'm concentrated in the present and looking towards the future. I agree with you, Itchy 95. I think that Armstead is going to do better this year because of the addition of Hargrave to that defensive line, excuse me. They're getting younger and still have the big 3. I don't know if you even believe your own caca, bro. Who cares about youth if you don't have the correct youth on your roster? The Rams are going to lose a lot of games before they start winning again. And that's just a fact. If you want to live in your delusional thinking of, we got the big 3. Who's the big 3? Stafford, who has a bad back? Your receiver? And who else? Who's the third? You don't have Ramsey no more. You don't have Floyd no more. I'm not worried about your big 3. I am not worried about the Rams at all. The Rams are done. It'll be years before they start being competitive again. The NFC West will be a battle between the Niners and the Seahawks. The Rams and the Cardinals will be battling for last place years to come. Aaron might retire, bro. He might retire. And if he doesn't retire this year, he'll retire next year. If you guys have a really bad season, which I expect you guys to have, Aaron Donald is not going to be here for long. You're going to be like, you know what? I don't need this shit no more. I got my Super Bowl. And I'm ready to move on. What's up, David Corona? Well, the Niners and Lakers, the Dodgers suck. I think I dislike the Dodgers more than I dislike the Rams. And I'm not even a Giants fan. But welcome anyway. So, this whole stream today was about the D lineman. The addition of Hargrave. We added a monster in the middle to support a monster on the outside of Bosa. If Jackson can step up, which I think he will make that transition from freshman to sophomore, he will make that leap. And then we already know that as long as you have two great guys on that D line, Armstead automatically becomes better, plays better. What's up, Chris? Hanson, how you doing, sir? Rudy is delusional. Yes, he is. Niners, Lakers, and A's. Got you. Your Warriors won yesterday, man. I wanted the Warriors to lose. It looked like OKC they were playing good. They were covering the paint good, but you can never ease up on the Warriors. Good win for you guys yesterday. David's and Ale King. So I'm looking forward to the 2023 season with our D linemen. I think honestly, we're going to win the West again. We're going to push for that NFC championship. Now, a lot of people are worried, and we're not going to get into the quarterback situation today because today was strictly about the D linemen. But I'm not really concerned about the quarterback position as much as many people are. Why do I say that? Because I believe that Trey will show us why he was taken with the third pick overall. And in case he doesn't, we do have Sam Darnold. They can play until Brock Purdy is ready to come in the game. With our offensive playmakers, with all the skills, the only person we're losing on our offense is Mike McClinchy, which is not really that big of a loss in my opinion. And that defense that was already number one just got better by adding Hargrave to the middle. Let me tell you, man, this team is going to be a dangerous team come on in 2023. What's up, 49er fan 26? Welcome. I know. We got another Kings fan in the house. What's up? I can't argue about the Lakers. That's the only team I cannot argue with you there, Rudy. All right, guys. That's going to be my show for today. I didn't want to be too long. I'm going to be doing a show today at 5. I'm going to be a guest on the East Coast Red and Gold podcast. Make sure to subscribe to their channel. My girl Jess and company is going to have me and Brian Culp on there tonight. So at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 8 o'clock Eastern, make sure to follow the East Coast Red and Gold podcast. I'm going to be a guest on that show today at 5. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy your hump day. And this Niner D-line will be better in 2023 than it was in 2019. Until then, thank you for all of you who came and visited me and hanged up for me for about an hour. I appreciate you guys. Be blessed. And we'll see you on the next Niner Sickness podcast. Peace.